Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I will be doing my last Chargers 7-round mock draft pre-combine. So today is the 2nd of March, I believe. Yeah, 2nd of March. So tomorrow the actual combine drills start and measurements and stuff. Um, so that will add a lot of input and change a lot of people's draft boards, and the PFF guys were using the term cluster buster, which I think is pretty good, especially for the edge class, possibly some of the receivers a little bit. Just in terms of if you're not sure on the where you have guys or the differences between them, if they're not super obvious on tape, normally once you get to the combine, those differences come out. And if you're 50-50 on like, I'm torn on if I should have this guy or this guy higher on my draft board. If you're torn, normally it's a better idea to just go with a better athlete. And that's where the combine comes into play. So let's do 7 rounds. We'll go this speed. Chargers. And I'm probably going to, I'm trying to trade back the PFF mock draft simulator change. So now certain teams you just can't trade back with because they don't want to, which I like. It makes it more realistic, but I might refresh a couple times to try and get somebody to trade back with. I just did one and the Packers wanted to trade up. So I think that would be both realistic and wow. So this one was pretty chalky at the top too, I think. Yeah, wow. So this would definitely be a trade back situation. No Trent McDuffie, no Drake London, no even David Ajabo, Garrett Wilson, Charles, all three of the top offensive tackles, Stingley, top 3 to 4 edge players, really. So let's see who we have trying. So Eagles. I might try and yeah. So see, it says Packers aren't even interested, and Eagles only trading up 2 spots. Yeah, like that wouldn't be accepted. I guess a third I would be okay with. Let's see if we could squeeze another pick out of them. Probably not this one. We'll try this. Possibly trade back again in the second then. Or honestly, if we get to 19 and somebody else wants to come up. So that was accepted. This would be, I think, a bit rich for just trading back 2 spots. I think realistically, trading back 2 spots, probably just a third in the first round. Jameson Williams goes, so let's see who else is wanting to trade up. So this is, especially since Jameson Williams is now off the board, that's who I would have looked at. I still like Andrew Booth. I would be okay with a Chris Olave, Jermaine Johnson, Devontae Wyatt, Trayvon Walker, Treylon Burks. If he's still there at 25, really, Andrew Booth, Chris Olave, Trayvon Walker, those are probably the three guys that I would be looking at. So this will kind of be the same as. So let's go their second round and their second round. Yeah, I don't know what round pick this would be. Probably round 5. So this would be a pretty good haul for us just to trade back from 17 to 25, because this one was two separate trades, which I don't think would realistically happen. So Andrew Booth, Chris Olave, Kyer Elam went. But in this situation, I would be thinking Trayvon Walker, Jermaine Johnson. I think Trayvon Walker is a little bit better of an athlete. Treylon Burks. So in this exact mock draft, I think I'm looking Trayvon Walker or Treylon Burks. Comment down below who you guys would rather have if we did trade down to around this range. Obviously, it matters where we go in free agency. And yeah, these are also two guys who their stock is going to move a lot after the combine, because we need to see Treylon Burks' movement skills, what he's going to actually run in the 40 and the 3-cone, the bend, the shuttle, the stop and start. And then Trayvon Walker's just supposed to blow up the combine. So let's go Treylon Burks here, just because I think that he's the last guy. I think that he's the last guy in that tier of pot. I don't think he's going to be a wide receiver one, but I think day one, I think he could contribute, and I would feel pretty good about it. And I think this edge class is pretty deep, so I'm going to go Treylon Burks, round one. And we should have a good amount of second-round picks, or I guess 2 second-round picks and 2 or 3 third-round picks. So we have Jalen Petrie, Brian Asamoah, Leah Chanel, Travis Jones, Boye Mafe, Kyler Gordon, Logan Hall. So there's a lot. I really like this tier of players, which is why I'm a big advocate for trading down in the first, because I think that we could get not elite day one contributors, but capable, at least average day one contributors in the early second, possibly slip to the mid late second at our own pick. So once again, obviously matters where we go in free agency for this pick, but just looking at average draft position as well, just shows who PFF is a little bit higher on than most. So Sky Moore, we could probably wait until the third. Asamoah, Chanel, we could possibly wait a little bit. Same with Mafe, but Kyler Gordon normally goes around this area. Travis Jones pretty soon as well. I think I would want to address the secondary. So either a guy like Kyler Gordon or a Jalen Petrie. Kyler Gordon does have a little bit more upside, I think, and he's going to blow up the combine. So hopefully, if you guys are watching this after the combine, taking Kyler Gordon looks like a really good pick. Hopefully. I do like David Bell, who went right after our pick as well. He's David Bell not going to blow up the combine. Probably, if he can run in the 4.4s, he's going to move up a lot because he's so well rounded. I think he, in terms of just feel for the game, that's what stuck out to me about Josh Palmer last year. He's just such a good receiver and has such a good feel for the game in terms of ball skills, just little intuitive breaks and movements that they have. They have probably pretty similar athleticism. Neither one's going to burn you. But in terms of just consistency, actually, was that... Okay, yeah, so that makes sense. The Buffalo pick was after our pick. I thought for some reason that was Buffalo's pick. So Kyler Gordon at our pick in the second round. I think that would be pretty good value. And then Travis Jones, and Brian Asamoah are probably the two guys I'm looking here. I'll slow down so that you guys can see. I like a couple of these tackles round 3, obviously not to start day 1. If we need a tackle going into the draft, I would have taken Raymond or Penning in the first round probably. But if this was the board, I would probably go Travis Jones over Brian Asamoah. One, I've seen these guys slip even farther than this. And two, I just got done watching more of Travis Jones' tape, and dude just looks like a bully. And he has some legitimate pass rush moves as well. I think I might be getting on the Travis Jones at pick 49 train, even though I rant about value and stuff, but second round, Travis Jones, I think, could provide more value than even a guy like Jordan Davis, but here with our second round pick, I'm going to go Travis Jones at pick 57. And then we have picks 81 to 83. So almost right by each other, which I think most of the time is a good thing. Kind of like in fantasy football, if you have back-to-back picks, I feel like it's harder to maximize on guys falling. So if in the second round, like a guy's falling a little bit, you don't have that mid-round pick to snag him. You need two guys or something even more crazy to happen for guys to slip where you can take both of them back to back, if that makes sense. Kind of just like having a little bit more space in between picks. If a guy starts to slip a little bit, you're there so that you can take them instead of having to wait an entire round. Like, is this dude going to slip an entire another round? And then we can take him with one of our 2 picks. 8 trade offers here. And there are a good amount of guys on the board. We would be stupid to not just glance at these. 123, pick 87. So I'm looking for guys who have, or teams who have other high picks. And I think 47% chance. So moving back 4 spots, but picking up another, what would that be? 4th round pick. And we still have this pick, I think. So they did decline it. So let's just throw in our last pick. I've always been interested in not gamifying, but like hacking the draft in terms of, especially if you're a bad team like the Texans needs every position. If you're that bad, dude, just trade back. Just get so many draft picks. Most of the time, even if it's you have to sacrifice a little bit of value on trading back and don't get like the best return possible, you're still getting more at-bats, more draft picks, more ammunition to trade within that draft or even next year, and you know you're not going to be good. Why not just commit to a youth movement and also let your fans have a little bit of fun for the first time in a long time by giving them a lot of hope from the draft. So Leo Chanel is still here. I like Troy Anderson a lot. I was watching his tape this week as well. Colin Diaz. It's tough if Sky Moore is still on the board, but I think I have to lean Leo Chanel over Sky Moore just because we want receiver round 1. I guess it might depend a little bit on if we re-sign Mike Williams, because Treylon Burks could still complement the team even if we do re-sign Mike Williams. If we didn't re-sign him, though, I would probably be thinking Sky Moore here, just because he would be a very consistent separator contributor, especially if a guy like Keenan goes down. Josh Palmer can separate, but Mike and Treylon Burks aren't going to be the biggest win consistently in terms of giving Justin Herbert easy first downs, easy outlet passes throughout the game. And I think Sky Moore could be that. But in this situation, and honestly, I might still take Sky Moore, not with this pick, but with the pick 85 pick. Right here, I'm going to go Leo Chanel, though, just because I would really like to have a little bit more depth than, assuming we re-sign Kaiser White, of course, than just Kaiser and Drew. One more guy, and Leo Chanel he's similar to Kenneth Murray in terms of not going to be Fred Warner in coverage, but Leo Chanel has a lot, I think, better feel for the game. He's going to be coming downhill. You want him coming downhill around the ball, blitzing the passer. But there's the key difference of IQ and feel for the game and change of direction almost in terms of agility that Kenneth Murray, straight line, straight line, very, very straight line, sideline to sideline, assuming he doesn't miss the tackle, then he's going to be great. But I didn't see him make many plays at all between the tackles, filling gaps, shutting blocks, getting around blocks, and that's something that I think Leo Chanel could provide instead of Kenneth Murray. And here, I think I'm probably going to have to go with, because we have pick 119. I am thinking lineman later in the draft. Luke, is it Godecki? The other tackle from Central Michigan. Marquis Hayes, I like. I like Marcus Jones as well. And then Kellen Diash is also still on the board. I like Dylan Parham. But here, value, it's there. Another separator. He's there at near the end-ish of the third round. And I think our wide receiving core just give Justin Herbert more weapons. We're probably about to give him some more depth on the O-line, but everybody's been beating the drum of defense, defense, defense. We need to address all defense in free agency in the draft, and I guess there aren't that many people or that many stupid Chargers fans who are like, sign 8 D tackles, sign a bunch of corners, sign a bunch of safeties and linebackers. Like, yes, we need to address the defense a little bit more than the offense, but ignoring the offense completely, especially if there's value there, like Sky Moore in the third round, I think that would be very foolish to not prevent regression from Justin Herbert and our offense, but also possibly push our offense into the Chiefs' stratosphere. Chiefs, like, what would that have been? 2019 or 2020 offense of just unstoppable. If we could reach that point, and with some positive regression from our defense becoming even closer to average, that's a Super Bowl team if we can have that unstoppable offense. Here, I'm probably going to go Kellen Diash. We have 3 picks pretty close together, which I'm a fan of, obviously. I like Cordero Flott. I like Calvin Austin. I want to see what he runs in the 40. honestly all of his agility drills as well. But here I'm going to go Kellen Diaz, third string slash fourth string offensive tackle, but just in case Trey Pipkins hasn't actually developed, we have Kellen Diaz instead. 9 trade offers. That's crazy. I'm not trading back anymore. Probably Marcus Jones here. Marcus Jones might go Marquis Hayes with the next pick. I am also looking at Cordero Flott, and Tariq Woolen might be a riser, like major riser after the combine, because he has been reported to run in the 4.2s, which I want to see he's 6'3". He's 6'4". 6'4" corner running in the 4.2s would be crazy. It's kind of the opposite of a Trent McDuffie, Kyler Gordon, and a little bit Roger McCreary. McCreary's not quite on that level of athleticism, but Gordon and McDuffie have the insane agility, movement skills, which ideally translates to stickiness and coverage. But 4.2 speed can translate to, yes, being 4.2 speed without the matching agility, like Tariq Woolen probably has, translates to possibly getting beat at the top of some routes, not being as sticky in coverage, but with his frame and 4.2 speed, that's pretty insane recoverability. So even if you do not get shaken, even if he gets shaken at the top of a route, he will be able to recover more quickly than almost any other corner, just because he's 6'4" and he runs 4.2. Once he adjusts and gets going in the right direction, he's going to get there pretty quick. But in this situation, we have 2 more picks, pretty close. I'm probably going to go Marcus Jones. I would be okay with him as a slot corner. He's probably not going to play on the outside in the NFL, but slot corner depth as well as elite return man. I guess it's hard to say because he hasn't been in the NFL, but in college he was probably the best return man in the nation, and having that for at least like 3 or 4 years, I think would provide value and consistency as well as depth at the cornerback position. And then here, I'm looking Neil Farrell, Marquis Hayes, and I guess we already took 2 corners. I'm hoping that we get at least 1 or 2 in free agency as well. So 3 corners would probably be excessive. If Tariq Woolen or Cordero Flott slip into the 6th round, then I'll look at them again. But for how this board has fallen, I don't really think we need to go safety. I like Alohi Gilman as our 3rd guy. I think I'm going to go Marquis Hayes. I like him a little bit more than, I guess only offensive lineman higher than him is Luke Fortner. But, so this is going to be the first time I had to edit and actually take something out in the middle of a video. I just had to blow my nose. But other times I've just been trimming the outsides. So here we're probably going to go Marquis Hayes, assuming, hopefully, that we, once again, I've said it a million times, but addressed this position in free agency so we don't go into it with a need. Because if we have like Brendan Hymus as our day 1 starter, if we trade back, I wouldn't hate a guy like Kendrick Green in the second round, possibly a Zion Johnson. But here, great depth. I'm going Marquis Hayes. And then we have a pretty big jump here. I'll speed it up in a second. I'm trying to remember if did I use one of these picks to get another pick? Because normally I don't think there's this big of a jump. I think, yeah, I did use a pick to acquire a higher pick. I forgot about that. And then pick 252 as well. Because normally there's a pretty big jump around this part, but not 60 picks. Noah Ellis here in the 6th. I don't mind. Matt Ariza. So yeah, now we're starting to reach the Cole Turner. I'm trying to remember. There's a big riser being talked about right now in tight ends. I'm trying to remember if it was Cole Turner, but some tight end is supposed to blow up the combine compared to the other guys this year at least. If this is how the board fell, I'm probably going to go Noah Ellis. And then probably I like our wide receivers. I like our O-line. Got a tackle, a guard, 2 receivers, 1 interior defender. Did we? Yeah, we got Trayvon Walker in the first, so edge depth is a little bit better. We got 1 linebacker, 2 corners. So I'm going Noah Ellis here for a little bit. I mean, ideally, a consistent rotational guy. But if not, we need depth at that position. And this is where you address depth at D-tackle late in the draft. I'm also going to probably go running back. Probably going to try and get Matt Ariza. Possibly Cole Turner as well. But highest on the draft board, Zaquandre White. A lot of guys. This is also when Saquon Barkley, I don't know if anything was made official with, like if Saquon wants out or if they're actively seeking a trade, but I do not want Saquon Barkley on the Chargers. He has a pretty big cap hit for still being on a rookie contract, and that just wouldn't move the needle for the Chargers at all. We're going to go Matt Ariza once again, lock down the punter position for hopefully 10 plus years. And then, so the tight end is off the board. I might go, so I guess Cade York probably already went. Let me see if he did special teams. Yeah, he did. Jake Marta. I'm trying to remember which kicker was better. Cameron Dicker. We're going to go with Cameron Dicker. Pause. In the 7th round. Fly around a kicker. Hopefully an Evan McPherson. And then here, Jack Cohn. No, I'm not going Jack fucking Cohn. Tight end. I forgot about Connor Hayward. I'm always so surprised when I see a 6-foot tight end. Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've not watched a snap of Daniel Bellinger, but I would rather have a 6'6" tight end than a 6-foot tight end. This guy might be way better, but in my mind, And since we have thoroughly addressed basically all of our other needs, we've gotten a lot of talent. I say we take a flyer on the 6'6" tight end, because who knows if we don't bring back either Steven Anderson or Donald Parham, it could become a slight position of need. But quick review, trade back twice, aka it's more realistic that we just trade back one time into this range. But Treylon Burks out of Arkansas, true wide back potential, run after the catch, possibly some pretty good straight line speed. Just a big dude, very, very versatile, wide receiver 2 or 3, but almost don't even, he's like wide back 1 for us. Kyler Gordon with our next pick, depth at corner. Hopefully he doesn't have to start day 1, but I want to get him some snaps. And he's probably going to be a pretty big riser after the Senior Bowl. Travis Jones, obviously huge need, and I think he just has so much upside as a pass rusher, and he's been good in run defense as well. Been very good in run defense, true nose tackle potential. Leo Chanel, we're doing everything we can to keep Kenneth Murray off the field. Sky Moore, great wide receiver 4 or 5, especially in case of injury to Keenan Allen. He is a separator and I think a plus athlete, especially short area quickness. Kellen Diaz, we can't have Storm Norton in week, what would that be, 18 against the Raiders again. And taking flyers on tackles, I don't mind. Who knows if, could be a future 5 to 8 year average swing tackle in case of injury, which I think is good value. Marcus Jones, depth at slot corner, as well as elite returner, hopefully. Marquis Hayes, depth at guard. Noah Ellis, rotational, hopefully. Depth at D tackles, Aquandre White. We just got to keep taking flyers, shots late draft on running backs for somebody who can hopefully complement Austin Eckler. I like Justin Jackson. I hope we can bring him back for cheap, but he's just always injured. Matt Ariza and Cameron Dicker, pause, in the 7th round. Matt Ariza, obviously, way more confident about him being our guy for the next 10 years. But Cameron Dicker, who knows, might be Evan McPherson 2.0. And then Daniel Bellinger, the 6'6" tight end out of San Diego State. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is the last mock draft pre-combine. After this, all the draft boards are going to change, including mine, my opinions on everybody. Hopefully your guys' opinions on everybody will also change and become more clear. But comment, subscribe. Looking at this picture, you can see we just drafted so many guys, which I'm a fan of. Draft is my favorite time of the year, favorite day of the year, day 1 of the draft, first round. And is day 2 of the draft my second favorite day of the year? Possibly. Once again, Christmas and my birthday are up there, but I like the draft. I like the draft a lot. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Turn on post notifications. You don't have to fucking do that. Every YouTuber says to do that. I never have. But I will see you guys in the next video.